What up, Hope Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again, and I would like to start off by first and foremost saying hi to any and all parents who may be watching me. I am 100% a good influence on your children. 100%. I support good, healthy living and Christianness. Stay in school and don't do drugs, kids. I actually don't support doing drugs. Don't do that shit. But for realsies, I'm a good influence on your kids, and you don't need to be worried about the things that I'm saying to them. This is a family-friendly Skitten that you see here before you. Look at this. Look at this makeup, okay? See how the makeup matches the hair bow, matches the earrings? You wouldn't get that from somebody who wasn't family friendly. So with that said, I'm gonna watch this video about strict ass parents and see what their most unreasonable rules were.
People who grew up with strict parents, what was their most unreasonable rule? Not my parents, but I had a friend who got it pretty bad. If you want to play for 1 hour, you have to also practice piano for 1 hour. These and other such rules were posted on his bedroom door. My mom was very—
That's not that bad of a rule. Okay, go ahead, rot your brain out with video games, but also you gonna be a talented motherfucker because we need money in this house. Go play in an orchestra. It was a joke. People who play in the orchestra don't make that much money.
Very strict about the ratings of movies and video games. One year for Christmas, a relative gave me a copy of Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire for the Nintendo 64. It was a T14 rated game, and I wouldn't be turning 13 for another 4 weeks. My mom had my dad drive me to Toys R Us to return the game. We walked into the store and over to the games, and he had me pick out an E for everyone rated game. We proceeded to check out, and as we went to the car, he handed me not only the new game but the game we were supposed to have returned to buy it as well, and told me not to let her catch me playing it. That guy deserves a high five.
But I don't understand why his mom didn't just hold on to the game for 4 weeks. Why do I have to go return the entire game? Bitch, just keep it in your fucking vibrator drawer and keep it pushing. It's not like I'm gonna go look in there. Shit.
I was called at a friend's house at 11 PM at night because I left 2 t-shirts slung over the chair in my room versus hanging them in my closet. I had to go back to my house, and then I was grounded for a week.
Bitch.
Upon getting home, my mother had gone through my entire room and tossed every item out of my dresser. She claimed they were messily put in the dresser. Fun stuff. I wasn't allowed to say I died on Mario. I lost one of my chances to succeed. Son, your grandpa lost one of his chances to succeed.
Jesus.
I had a friend who wasn't allowed to say the word stupid and tried to report me to the teacher when I said it. A teacher yelled at me and then told me it was okay in private and not to say it around that one kid. Nice guy, though, just had a helicopter mom. My kids are allowed to say stupid, but we always taught them that it was never okay using it referring to a person.
Man, fuck that. If you stupid, and stop being so goddamn stupid.
My oldest is 10, and when my youngest daughter heard her call something stupid, she ran to tell on her older sister. My wife and I cracked up laughing when the little one couldn't understand why she hadn't gotten her sister in trouble. My dad didn't believe in periods, and when I cried that I needed feminine products, gave me food stamps to buy them. I was humiliated. My parents—
What do you mean he didn't believe in periods? I'm not understanding. Do you not see the fucking bloody waterfall that is streaming down my legs? What do you mean you don't believe in this shit? I don't— Dudes be so goddamn stupid sometimes.
And were pretty slack on everything except one thing. No video games console ever, and no online games on the computer because that's how you get virus and make the computer run slow.
Oh jeez.
So I was playing my morgue when they were sleeping, in a hidden file, in a file, in another file, in another file, and I was changing the appearance of every file icon. And this is how you reverse your child's sleep schedule. My mom's curfew was 7 PM and her brother's was 12 AM. Her brother was about 2 years younger than her, and my granddaddy's logic was that girls get themselves into more trouble than boys.
A lot of families are like that.
My poor mother only ever attended church functions for fun until she graduated from high school. My stepmom decided that I was using too much shampoo. She would get a little medicine cup before my shower and pour the designated amount into it. It wasn't ever enough because I had hair down to my butt. I also wasn't allowed to use conditioner. Screw her. I also wasn't allowed to use conditioner. I got a paper route when I was 12 years old. The very first thing I bought with my earnings was a giant bottle of conditioner. I wasn't allowed to cross any streets until middle school.
How does that work?
Thus, my best friends were the ones who lived on the same block as me. When I was in 5th grade, I wrote some stuff in my diary about masturbating. And like a month later, my mom went through all my stuff.
Ho!
She would randomly go in my room, tear it apart. I'd always get in trouble for something, and then I'd have to clean up the mess and be grounded for whatever amount she felt like that day. So anyway, she found that diary entry. She picks me up from school and won't talk to me. I get home, my door was removed from my room, that diary entry was taped on the wall, and I was threatened with a belt if I didn't answer all her invasive questions. Fricked up. Way to give a kid a complex about their sexuality. Right. Mom hits me with kitchen utensils and yells that I am not allowed to put my hands up to defend myself from her strikes. I was not allowed to watch Pokemon because it taught evolution, haha. My brother couldn't watch it because Pokemon equals pocket monsters, which is a sneaky word for demons. I was not allowed to do the following: use the washing machine, wash the dishes, pull the weeds, vacuum outside of my room. I must ask to use the vacuum. I can't cook a meal. I can't have the remote. I get instructed on how to use the microwave that I've been using for years, and if I ask where we are going I get told out and I have to dress in jeans, a shirt and running shoes no matter how hot because he doesn't like shorts.
What the fuck?
And no jacket no matter how cold.
What?
We could not listen to music with guitars in it. I will never forget the day my brother was listening to Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and my father took the radio and threw it through the window. Spent my childhood listening to Richard Marx and Michael Bolton.
The ball's on your brother though.
Thanks, Dad. Currently on holiday in Japan. Have to message every hour to update them on what I am doing. Create a script that sends the same 5 messages in a random order every hour.
That's actually a good idea.
We couldn't go sledding during the winter, or any other season, obviously, because my mom was a neat freak and didn't want snow slogged into the garage.
That's not bad.
So, no snow playing of any kind, really. Never built a snowman. Did go sledding when I was an adult.
Do you wanna build a snowman? Okay, I had to put that in there. Sorry, Chavez.
It's pretty great. All of our clothes in our closet had to be arranged by color, descending in order by shade.
Hell no.
So, for example, midnight blue at one end of the blue section, and tar heel blue at the other.
Bitch, what the fuck is
there
tar
was a
heel
system
blue?
in place for colors, too. So if the yellows were by the purples, for example, there'd be heck to pay. No shoes on in the house under any circumstances. Was super uncomfortable when my brother's friend, who had prosthetic legs and always had shoes on, came over and didn't take his shoes off. Mum got really mad and confronted him. No Legos or puzzles allowed, as they make messes and look like disorder. I freaking love puzzles as an adult. One of my favorite hobbies. 30 minutes of internet time a day, and 99% of the time, that was supervised, as in mom looking over my shoulder and commenting on conversations. We had webv, RIP,
I don't know what
and
that
when
is.
they weren't home, they would literally lock the keyboard in a toolbox. My sis and I could never have friends stay over because the house is a mess. No amount of cleaning satisfied mom, because the real reason was she wanted to be able to fight with my dad at will. For every minute I was late coming in from curfew, I got grounded a week. I once spent 10 weeks grounded due to a sobriety checkpoint. Whoa. For me it was every minute late as a minute earlier the next day. Mine is logical. Yours is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had to write essays on TV shows that I wanted to watch, in order to have them unblocked by the parental controls.
Jesus Christ.
I remember writing a riveting piece on the educational and cultural benefit of Disney's That's So Raven.
Ha!
Also, I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 movies, even after turning 13. Wasn't allowed to rest my head on my hand with my elbow on any table while there was also food on that table.
Right, manners.
If my parents found out I was going too fast in my car, small town, so other parents would snitch on me pretty regularly for going 10 over. I had to pay my parents speeding tickets. Also, they would make me pay for the whole family's phone bill if I texted a boy. By the time I moved out at 17, I had given them well over $1,000 in punishment money earned at the Sonic drive-in. I was not allowed to talk to boys. One Christmas Eve day, I was doing last-minute shopping in the downtown of our little town. I ran into 2 male friends from my German class and we talked for several minutes and wished each other a Merry Christmas. Oh, I was 15 at the time. My older sister drove by and saw me, told my parents I was hanging out with boys. When I walked in the house, both my parents—
Yo, your older sister is a fucking snitch. Whoop her ass.
were waiting and the yelling began. Some Christmas Eve—
I don't care if it's been years. Whoop her ass.
Sneeyike.
He said
Indian—
sneeyike. I'm done. So my parents were like pretty strict about a lot of things. Like I ended up like being homeschooled and stuff just because my parents weren't like really comfortable with me going to public school after the whole K-5 debacle. And even like when I started going to college, because I started going to college like as a teenager when I was 15, they still like held on to the reins pretty tight. So Chavez still makes fun of me, but like my parents' biggest thing was they hated that I used to go online and talk to random strangers, right? So I used to go online onto the site called MuggleNet, which was a Harry Potter fan site, and there was a little chat thing, and I had to use the applet. Like everyone else used MIRC, don't know what the fuck that means or stands for still, but I had to use the little applet that came on the website. And I went on there, and that's where I met so many people on there. I had my first little internet boyfriend on there and everything, but man, when my mom found out that I was on there, oh god, there was hell to pay. But I used to get up every night, and my dad was like real sensitive to light, you know, so like even the light coming under the door to his room, he was real sensitive to that. So I used to get up in the morning, or I used to get up like at night. He used to go to bed like super early, like 9 p.m. Used to get up, you know, make sure he was asleep. Was he snoring? Good, got it. My mom never came home till like hella late at night. I used to go and shove a little blanket under the door so we couldn't see the lights. I used to sneak downstairs and hop on my little laptop and get on there until fucking like 3 or 4 in the morning, because my mom used to work 2 jobs and shit, you know? And my friends, my online friends all knew that like if I just got off suddenly, it was like because my mom had come home. You know what I mean? And that's, yeah, my parents were pretty strict, but that's like, it's a bad memory because like my parents were real strict about it and they didn't bother to take the time to understand anything about it, you know, about like being online or anything. But it was like a good memory because like, man, I used to talk to those people for hours. If y'all are out there, I hope you're doing well. Peace out, Hope. It's Skittin' Lit.